welcome to another episodic podcasting adventure. It's Talkamania.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episodic adventure. It's Talkamania. I'm your co-host Dez here with my hombre, my buddy, my amigo, the boozerweight himself, J-Bomb.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine. We're almost there. We're halfway through the week. It's hump day, but we're getting there. It's a big weekend coming up. We got All Out, and we're going all out for All Out. But we are here with you guys tonight. For Talkamania, we're going to be talking about the latest in wrestling, and there's no better place that I enjoy being after a long, hard day of work than enjoying a beer with my buddy over there. He's the boozerweight, so I have my competition set out for me. Beer. And here we are.
I have a horrid ear infection.
Oh.
So
what happened? Got a splash
I got a splash in there. For those of you who do not know, I am deaf in this ear, have a hole in this eardrum as well, and if I get the tiniest amount of water, I'm on antibiotics for like 2 weeks, drops, horse pills. It's fucking shit. There's stuff oozing out of my ear. Right now there's cotton in there. It's just shit.
So this nasty mother over here, it's funny because I grew up with this guy, and he's always had this ear problem, and we always have a running joke on like, don't get water in my ear. He'd freak out. We had a water balloon fight, a water fight. We were near a pool. He'd always be very protective, and his mom would whip him good if he got any water in that ear. But, it would cause lots of problems and pain for the guy, so it was always funny. But, yeah, poor
Dude,
guy.
You know how sensitive it is? This is how sensitive it is. I was at a pool party, outside of the pool, having a beer by the fire. Somebody jumped, did a cannonball, and I swear to God, one drip, flew 20 feet and just landed right in the ear hole. And I was like, no.
How does that even happen?
I swear to God, that's how it happened. I was like, there's no way. What are the chances? And I knew I was going to get an ear infection. Everyone's like, oh, you're being crazy. I'm like, yo, give it a couple days, man. Woke up last night.
I wonder if some of it's mental also. You're going to get it, so it kind of works your body out. No, I think I'm good. And I think the viewers watching they might want to see it, but I don't want to see it.
No,
guys,
I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. This whole side of my face and all down my neck was just throbbing. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And it feels like it just feels like a bunch of pressure. And then I just push on my ear and it's just like,
that's gross. I'm sure your mic picked up that very graphically as well too,
Drink,
guys. So that is it.
Yeah, disgusting.
All right. Let's move on with this, guys. Before we get into things, make sure to give us a follow @_Talkamania on Twitter, and check us out on Instagram, just Talkamania. You can check out our recent trips and voyages to NXT TakeOver in Toronto, SummerSlam, as well as C4 Wrestling, where we got that awesome video of Sean Spears coming out to attack Cody Rhodes in Ottawa at this indie show. It was great. I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, man. It was awesome. One of the best shows we've actually gone to, and it was one of the smallest. So definitely encourage those guys who have indie shows near their hometown to check them out. Got to give love to the talent that are up and coming on the rise. And yeah, it was awesome. Good times.
We're at 93,000 views on that video, and I really, really want to get to 100,000. And I feel like that 7,000 is just not going to come.
Well, it's been pretty stagnant. I saw it at 92 for a while, and then went up to 93. So I don't know if it's going much more than that, but we'll see. Maybe it'll become a thing again. But regardless, it was great to be there and great to be a part of the road to All Out.
Well, that's it. We were talking about it before we went live, and we said, there's no episode 7 or episode 8, whatever. There's no episode for Road to All Out this week, and I just thought, well, because we saw them filming it while we were there. And I'm wondering if our footage was just too good that they didn't want to put out lesser footage. So, guys, if you want to tune into the newest episode of All Elite Wrestling's Road to All Out, just check out @_Talkamania, man.
Guys.
It's right pinned to the top, man. Take a look.
It's funny, that video too, because you actually see the guy filming it in your video.
Damn
so, yeah. You see his little spot.
But guys, yeah, if you want to listen to us on Full Press Radio, we stream every Thursday morning at 12 o'clock. If you want to check them out, it's at Full Press Radio. Their wrestling affiliates are at FPC_wrestling. If you want to check out our website, if you want to look at stories, posts, news, rumors, all that kind of crap, www.talkamania.com. We added a bunch of writers.
Great articles up there.
Added a bunch of new writers, so things are progressing pretty well. ProWrestlingTees.com/Talkamania if you want to support the show. You cannot get what Dez is wearing. That is the original Vista Print Special Talkamania podcast.
That was our prototype number 1 before we got our fancy logo. I love it, actually. I wear this shirt every week, and I love it.
It survived the test of time, man. Those Vista prints, those Gildan Super Cottons, they're fucking legit, man.
Yeah, and you can't get them anymore either.
Not on Vista.
You know, I know, but even if you had your account and you still used to purchase them, you can go back and recopy you can't even do that anymore.
Dirty.
It's gotten that bad. It's gotten that much of a hot, rare commodity. So anyways, guys, make sure to check it out. It always helps us as well to make this better. As you can see, we're on video now. We're getting crisper. We're getting a better flow going. I'm getting my light soon as well, too. And we got a really cool couple of ideas to make things even better. J-Bomb's grinning over there. I don't know
why either, but if you want to support the show as well, too, you can head over to patreon.com/Talkamania. You can get some free merch if you do. For free merch, it's $5. $5. And you're going to get free merch after 3 months. But if you just want the pre-shows and the bonus shows and all the extra Talkamania shenanigans, for as little as $1 a month, you can join and be a premium member. But let's talk wrestling. And before we get going, yeah, Justin... God, he's fact-checking our plugs. By the way, what's up, Justin Robert? She's in the chat. Yeah, we do have a Twitch account, twitch.tv/Talkamaniacs, if you want to check it out. We've been pretty dormant on there, but it's just because with everything that's happened over the last little while, I haven't really been on Apex Legends, and we'll get there.
I was playing Final Fantasy VII, man. Nobody wants to watch me play that. But I beat it. I've actually checked that off my bucket list of Final Fantasy games because it was the best one, and I hadn't played it. I know. But, yeah, I'll be jumping on Apex Legends. I say that every week, but I have to now. I can't tell you why, but I do. So, anyways, yes, let's get right into it.
All right, on this week's episode, we're going to be going through wrestling news from around the world in the segment we like to call Oh You Didn't Know. We're going to be doing Raw, SmackDown takeaways. If you didn't get a chance to catch our Raw and SmackDown post shows, you can get a more in-depth look over there. And we're also going to be talking about some updates from Being the Elite and Road to All Out, and we'll be wrapping up the show with our AEW All Out predictions. So before I keep fucking this up, let's get on with the news.
Oh, you didn't know?
Big news.
I knew.
Big news. WWE's Peyton Royce and AEW's Shawn Spears got married this past weekend.
Hooray,
that is all I
for
know.
love.
I don't know where they got it done, but they got it done. So there you go.
Is it the greatest love of all?
I don't know. I'll reserve that for me and you on Talkamania here.
All right, cool. But yeah, definitely cool to hear these guys have been together for quite some time. And you know what? It was kind of nice to see WWE pay a little bit of respect and give them kind of like a nod on their website, referring to him as Ty Dillinger and by his real name, and saying, congratulations, they're married, photo of them on the beach, yada, yada, yada. But cool. Always happy when love prevails. And it's cool that WWE's not being petty enough to just, brush it under the rug and give them the proper, I guess, respect. I'm still calling him Ty Dillinger, which is interesting. But yeah, I guess WWE might do a little things here and there that are like, well, we're not completely petty. We'll put when somebody gets married. But if you want to come on our time slot, we'll take over and we'll ruin you. So anyways, good for those guys. And let's hope that love strong and true and is a perfect 10.
I would very much like to see Peyton Royce. I'm not going to comment any further than that. Ronda Rousey, Sonya Deville, and Carmella have been casted for Total Divas Season 9. I am slurring my words.
That's all you.
Tonight.
This one's all you, man. This one's all you.
Yeah, so Ronda Rousey apparently is just endorsing everything. She's also on the cover of WoW, World of Warcraft. So I don't know what's going on with her. Apparently, if you put her in your content, you're going to sell more of it. Whatever. More eyes on the prize. I actually read a pretty fun fact the other day that Total Divas has had a longer run than WCW did.
No way.
Nitro, sorry. Than WCW Nitro. Right.
Longer years, but more episodes, I doubt it.
Well, no, obviously Nitro has way more episodes, but a longer amount of total days that it's been on.
Okay, fair enough. For World of Warcraft, I think they have an expansion that's out this week. So there you go. There's the nerd coming out. I know I work in the industry, so I guess she's a big gamer. Yes, they want to use her to plug it. Brian Pillman Jr. as well too, our buddy. He was streaming as well too, guys. If you don't know or you haven't known that he's streaming stuff, go check him out on Twitch. Check out his Twitter feed. He'll tell you all about it. But yeah, so these are the girls that have been added to Total Divas. And I got a question. They show the Bellas in the background. Are they in this as well too, or why are they even putting them in the graphic?
The Bellas are in fact in the graphic. I have no idea if they're going to be on there. I was reading that they weren't going to be on there.
I imagine they have to be some way or another.
But maybe they're just not on there as cast members. I would assume that they'll probably be in there here and there.
Well, they said new faces and old faces or old veterans returning or old something. So they're old. So I figured, I don't know. But cool, man. Total Divas is not my bag. I know you've watched it a bunch. Maybe I will start watching it soon enough. I do enjoy the backstage segments with before matches and after matches and all that stuff. So I don't know, but I guess that's news.
That's the news.
Hey, will Corey Graves be on it?
Who's Corey Graves? Oh, yeah, Carmella. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even completely convinced that it's
Carmella's
happening.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Other news, WWE stuff. Stone Cold Steve Austin will be at Raw on MSG on September 9th. So it seems like that's what they're doing for ratings these days. They're bringing back Stone Cold.
Dude, did you hear the roof blow off that arena when he came? Like, honestly, the guy hasn't been there in years. He makes an appearance. Well, I know if you want to fact check me, he's probably been there less than it hasn't been years, but he's not there very often. And when he does come out, I mean, did you hear that? If all the superstars were on that show, like multiply that by 10, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the pop he gets is amazing. Even with the young crowd who really didn't follow him as much, they buy into him immediately. So I think it's a great way to get ratings. I'm trying to think if anything's happening that week that ties in why they would need the ratings. I don't know if there's like a show Stone Cold show's already taken off. They're not competing directly with AEW. Well, they're in Madison Square Garden. I think that's a big event as well too. So there'll be a bunch of superstars. Stone Cold, I think I don't know if there'll be a bunch, but I know Stone Cold's going to be there. I'm excited to see what's going to go on. I hope they start utilizing him a little bit more. He was great, fantastic. I liked him. I watched also that, I don't remember the exact show, but the one where they eat the hot wings and they had the conversation.
Yeah, hot ones.
And then they
hot
go
ones.
Hot ones. He was on that as well too, and that was cool. He talked about how he was wrestling Yokozuna and he got body slammed and pooped his pants in the match. He shit himself.
Yeah.
They were like, let's address the rumors, and they started asking him stuff, and it's like, did you shit your pants? And he's like, I shit my pants. Like, he didn't even like try to beat around the bush. He's like, yep, I shit my pants, and I was like, let's go home. And Yokozuna was like, okay, man. Like he was just so nonchalant about it. So that's cool. Looking forward to it.
Justin Robert, our fact checker, is saying they'll keep using him to plug his show, and that's true. I think Becky Lynch is going to be on their next episode, so that should be pretty interesting.
Oh, cool. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, The Miz gets a chance to plug it as much as he wants and as much as he can. Stone Cold Steve Austin as well helps the WWE. It helps Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think having an air right after Raw is that's a tough time slot because it's 11 p.m.
But it's a good time slot because anybody who's watching wrestling is going to want to watch Austin right after.
It just spills over, right?
So it's good stuff.
Cool.
Good shit. Edge appears to be getting ring ready. He released an Instagram photo with his big six-pack, his pierced nipple, and he's looking like he's in good shape. But apparently it's for a movie, from what I heard. But you got to think with the spear that he threw on Elias, and with the rumors of swirling around that he's been medically cleared to return to WWE rings.
That's bullshit.
What's bullshit? The medically cleared?
I don't think he's been medically cleared. A neck injury like that, you don't become medically cleared.
I would assume so, but Daniel Bryan?
That's concussion. This is neck. Like, this is the same thing that putting Paige out of action. Like, you can't. He may wrestle a match. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna wrestle a match. So me looking at it and reading speculation, Saudi Arabia is coming up, right? They always ask for big names to prepare in the show. Edge could be somebody who they do ask about, and he's like, oh wow, dude, I'm gonna spear Elias. I'll see how it goes. I'll see how I feel. He was talking about an interview. He seemed to take it really well. His body reacted fine. He even said himself in an interview, he feels like he could have another one in him. So right there, he's already spelling it out. He looks like he's in fantastic shape. Fantastic. The best shape I even recall seeing him in. If he does a one-off in Saudi Arabia, makes a big paycheck, makes a lot of fans happy, and he could be, he's not so old that it'll end up like the Undertaker and Goldberg, and it'll be a sad scene, right?
No, I get that.
But you have to think: is it going to be a 1-versus-1? He's going to take on Elias, maybe, or is it going to be maybe him and Christian in a tag team match? Maybe they're not going to have him be doing a full match, but maybe kind of being supported in a tag match. Christian never officially announced his retirement, so there's that angle as well too. But it's cool. I'm glad to see him in shape. It's fortunate that he retired at such a young age. I think he could have went on and did amazing things, but he's done an amazing career outside of wrestling. He's been in lots of movies, TV. He's been a good father, and my hat's off to the guy. He doesn't need to come back and wrestle, but if he does, will I tune in and be excited? I actually will be. I'm down. I'm totally down.
I would definitely prefer an Edge match over Undertaker or Goldberg. I feel like he could do more, even with the neck injury.
He looks great, man. Looks great.
Ken Shamrock is scheduled to appear on Impact Wrestling. That's all I know. Des, take it away.
I don't want to say he doesn't look great because he's been on our show before and we love the guy, but he's definitely getting on there in age. But you know what? I've seen him wrestle a few videos of it last year. He was pretty solid. The guy works hard. You cannot deny the ethic and the passion and I guess the effort that he puts into his craft and working hard and preparing for big matchups. So Ken Shamrock will be wrestling September 5th and 6th against Impact Wrestling. Well, I don't know if he'll be on both dates, but he'll be involved in the tapings on those days. I guess one will be to hype the match, and then the next day might be to have the match. I'm excited. I love Shamrock. Always liked him. I was always kind of a little bit let down that the WWE never really reused him or brought him back in any capacity. I think he's always tried to and always tried to reach out to the WWE, but I think he also had a very hard stance in terms of supporting Bret Hart, and he's very outspoken in saying how he feels like they did him wrong, and but if they were able to forgive and forget with Bret Hart, I don't see why they wouldn't bring him back. But anyways, tune in if you guys are if you're a Ken Shamrock fan. He will be wrestling in Impact early September.
For the record,
world's most dangerous man.
Bret Hart forgave the WWE.
No. Yeah, the WWE maybe never forgave Bret Hart.
Apparently, we have a spoiler. So the dicks on the internet who love to spoil everything, news broke on Twitter that The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Des did it? Okay, Des is the dick who spread the rumors. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt will be challenging for the Universal title at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yeah, sorry guys if you were like, I don't want the spoilers, but that's the heavy rumor and it's been written all over the internet. I'm not the one who spoiled it, but I am one of those guys that likes to read into things before they happen. And yeah, apparently Bray Wyatt is scheduled right now to challenge for the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell. So what does that mean? Will he go on to face Seth Rollins? Well, that could be an awesome matchup to have the two of them in a ring. Do you have Bray Wyatt lose already this early on? Do you have Seth Rollins drop the title this early on? Or maybe Braun Strowman takes it at the Clash of Champions, and then you have a story between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman who have that history together, and then you could have him drop it to Bray Wyatt, and it would make a little bit more sense, right, without hurting Rollins as much. So there's a lot that could happen between now and then. And hell, man, this could not even be a thing. They could change their mind like they often do. But it's looking like he's going to be entering the main event sooner rather than later. So that's exciting. We won't get these recycled Firefly Funhouse videos that we're getting, and maybe we'll see him against Seth or Braun in Hell in a Cell.
He has to win. That's my only thing.
I would imagine.
I feel like the Fiend can't lose anytime soon.
Unless there's some kind maybe Balor comes back as the demon and screws him. I mean, that's the only thing I could see coming out of it. And there was like a longer game with this whole demon thing. But it's funny. We were talking about this last night, and we were saying how he should be an attraction. And you were saying how he should drop the Funhouse thing now that it's over. And I was saying, well, you know what? How about he's trapped in the Funhouse? He's trapped in the Funhouse, and the only time he can come out is when he's summoned. So he's like, hey, guys, let me in. And I think you triggered my thought because you're like, oh, well, he's out now because he was let in. Well, how about after a match, he goes back to the Funhouse and only comes out when he's let in again. And maybe in doing so, we were saying, okay, well, Candyman. You look in the mirror, you say Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Beetlejuice, you say Beetlejuice 3 times. Shit like that. But with him, remember that lantern that he had with his face in it? Well, it's like, man, I got to find myself a tag team partner. I don't know what to do. And in the back, you go through a back closet, you see, like, what's this cloth? You lift it up, and there's, like, his head there. You light it, and when you light it, it summons him. I mean, I know I'm stretching it now. But
you had
it
me
would be
until
neat
that.
if they yeah, well, I explained it a little bit better last night, and you liked it.
Okay.
But, yes, having him being stuck in the Funhouse and kind of having to kind of be let in or are somehow escaping. There's a way we could tie it in there. I haven't worked out all the details, guys, but
we're still writing the script, right?
We're still writing the script.
Boot to the Face in the chat says, no fucking spoilers, Des.
Oh, sorry, man. I would say leave and tune out, but I need you here, man.
And both of them, both Justin and Boot to the Face both think that it's way too early for Bray Wyatt to be facing the Universal title.
I agree. I do agree.
And Booch has said you're probably high as fuck with that whole explanation of how to summon Bray Wyatt.
No, I am not. I was, though, when I came up with it, actually, so that was interesting. Don't watch last night's episode. It's embarrassing.
All right. They can't because it's been deleted.
Really?
Yeah, the audio was all fucked up.
Ah, well, there you go.
So technical issues saved us. Let's move on to Raw and SmackDown takeaways. The big news, the big takeaway from the 2 episodes was Sasha Banks returned to in-ring action. She cut her first promo since she's been back. She was in the ring for the first time since she was back. I didn't like the promo. You seem to be all right with it. I saw people talking today on Twitter that it was some sort of a pipe bomb. I think that's a stretch.
I know.
Such a stretch.
People are calling her The Rock. They're like, Becky is the modern day Stone Cold, which that is a whole nother topic conversation. But Sasha is the modern day The Rock. Oh, come on, guys. I don't want to be hard on her, but come on.
No one's The Rock. First of all, no one's The Rock on the mic. Let's be freaking honest.
No one is The Rock.
But no, she kind of stumbled through it, similar to the way I've stumbled through this podcast tonight. But, I don't get paid the big bucks, and that's not my job full time. So I was a little bit disappointed in her return. I don't think that she's buying into her own character with the way she's acting.
Oh, that's a very good point. And actually, I agree with that. I thought the promo was okay. I want more of a meaning behind her coming back, not being, Becky main evented and I'm upset because she made more money than me.
Should have been me.
It should have been me. And, admitting to crying on the floor, like, well, there we go. We all know that it may or may not have happened. And if it didn't happen, imagine asking her to go out there and say that. Like, ugh. But anyways, it wasn't too bad. She went along in her promo. She had a problem saying the word division. She said division multiple times in a row and was struggling over it. I'm kind of picking it apart now. But outside of that, not terrible. And I like how Natty came down in her street clothes, ready to fight. It kind of reminded me of like old school street fights, like Michaels versus Jericho, or when Edge, they wear the jeans and stuff. I wanted them to duke it out there instead of having their match later that night. But I don't know. I want to see more out of it. I actually am more into when she did the thing when they were asking her backstage a week or two before, where it was like, so explain your actions. And she was more vain and into herself and stuff. And although that's kind of stupid, I like that a little bit more than what she's doing now. But I think you nailed it. I don't know if she's totally buying into her own return. I feel like people were saying it was like the top story of 2019, clearly forgetting that we had women main eventing and we had the Demon, the Fiend debuting. Although I think it was a great part of 2019 so far, I feel like it's almost quickly becoming an afterthought. Like, I don't know, dare I say that? Like, I'm almost kind of already over it.
I mean, until she has a good pay-per-view match. I don't know. She's just not on the radar for me. And
the match with Natty was okay. They gave them not enough time, I feel. So, like, I'm not going to judge it based on the match itself because it was a bit of a quick match. Sasha has a tendency to do her spots like, now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's kind of choppy. The back suplex was great. I love the way that she actually was going to reach for the ropes, Natty, and then Sasha locked it in a lot tighter and made it look nasty. Yeah. I like that, too. So there was some good takeaways. I'm happy Sasha's back. I think the whole Becky-Sasha thing is going to be really good and really heated. I want to see when Becky comes back this coming week, her just shred her on the mic, and I want to see them go, tit for tat on the mic and be able to cut those Raw promos, and I want to see if Sasha can hang with her. She can
hang with her. That's the thing. We already know it.
Well, that's the test. If Sasha can hang with her, I'm down. I think that's going to be great. It's going to be great to see them in a nice, fresh feud, and I'm down, and let's see what happens.
Sasha was almost unable to hang with herself in the ring. How the hell is she going to be able to hang with Becky Lynch? See, that's the big thing for me. And as you mentioned, they weren't really given that much time, but you would have thought that WWE and or Sasha, who's ever responsible for it, would have at least thought, hey, this is my opportunity to reinvent myself, more than just the blue hair. Yeah. Let me throw in some new moves, new signature move.
I'd love to see new moves.
Yeah.
And they gave other girls time this week too. You think if anybody, you got to give Sasha. They give Bailey and Was
No,
Nikki
Bailey and
Cross? Who
Lacey
did she take
Evans,
on
they
this
gave
week?
all the attention to the
Yeah,
Lacey
they gave
Evans
him a
return.
lot of time. Yeah, which was good. I was happy to see Lacey Evans come back. She popped up on SmackDown, and it's like, yo, she's gonna try her luck on SmackDown now and have a match with Bailey. Obviously, she has another match with somebody who can kind of carry her. But man, Bailey, like, well, okay,
Bailey needs carrying a lot of the times, and I'm probably gonna get heat for that. I
walk it back.
I find Sasha and Bailey to be in the same realm as far as it goes for. They might be really good wrestlers, okay? They might be good technical wrestlers, but they both suffer this inability to string spots together fluidly. So it looks like it's, you mentioned it on Monday's post show, it looks like you're watching them practice stuff at the Performance Center.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, she is working with Lacey, who is a bit like kind of clunky as well too. That moonsault at the end, like I told you, I've talked about this moonsault numerous times. She comes down with so much weight on those legs. She's gonna break a rib or a leg on somebody easy one day. I'm calling it right now. And not only that, she landed with her knees right on, I think, Bailey's leg or something, and it looked really nasty. And Bailey said something immediately, and then Lacey like pie faced her and pinned her, which I love.
Yeah.
But look, you saw her calling spots throughout that match. It was on Botchamania already. The guy, the Twitter guy, was tweeting it out where it's like, literally, she's standing in the middle of the ring, arm drag, and she runs towards her and like, are you even trying? Like, I don't know. So I don't know. Like, to give them the time and not give Sasha and Natty proper time, it was I guess a little bit disappointing. But I was happy to see Lacey back at least. I never thought that I'd be happy to see her back because I hated her when she first came in, but now her mic skills are pretty decent. I don't know. I like her.
I think it's safe to say for me and you that if you are good on the mic and if you can get me interested and intrigued and on the, you know, inside the story, inside the feud, then your ring work isn't that important. And that's what I'm talking about WWE, because there's a bunch of guys over in AEW that I find aren't that good on the mic, but in the ring they're just so fun to watch, so I'm bought in. But
I think like 90% of the people in AEW are fun to watch in the ring.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I don't like, so that's it. Like, if you can win me over, like, I respect her mic work, Lacey Evans. Her in-ring work has some ways to go, but she's pretty, her boots in the corner, her like mud hole stomping, very, very good. And I just don't like when somebody kind of is brought in and given like the championship right away. I feel like you have to earn your stripes. So when she first came in, was feuding with Becky, I was a bit concerned they were just going to throw her in there. And I remember back in the day where like Undertaker would go like 15 years before he won his like third championship, right? So that's kind of, I'm an old school guy at heart. So I like earning your stripes. You have to be in it years before you win the Royal Rumble. And now they just give these things to people to put them over. They don't use it in the correct way that I like, at least. So it doesn't mean it's not the correct way.
Yes,
but,
it does.
I'm trying to be polite, but yes. Come on.
We also got a new 24/7 champion. Drake Maverick reclaimed the title after Kevin Owens laid out Elias with a stunner during their segment on SmackDown. Now, Kevin Owens refused to pin Elias. It's beneath him. The 24/7 is beneath him. However, we got the title back on Drake Maverick, so there seemed to be continuing the tricycle of Elias, Truth, and Maverick.
Right, and I was saying that I'm kind of bummed that Canellis is left out of it, right? Like, it seems like when Maria went on a maternity leave, it means Canellis went off on paternity leave too. Like, I don't understand why he had to go. I kind of like the stuff he was doing. There was a week or two there where I was like, nice, Canellis is getting a chance. And then boom, he's gone, and it's back to Maverick and Elias. Elias is entertaining too. I know Rucker's not a fan, poops on him a lot. He hasn't really shown too much in the ring. He's very vanilla, and I will agree with that to some degree. But somebody who can, I guess, play with the crowd, make them cheer, make them boo the way he does. I mean, like, he kind of annoys me with a smile on my face. So, you know, I don't mind him too much. He kind of serves the purpose where he needs to. You need those guys who can stir the pot. The stunner itself was a bit sloppy again. Wasn't a great one. Is. And then after he's lying down in the ring, you clearly see him taking the strap off underneath his back, getting ready for Maverick to take it away from him. So that was really – we were talking about the camera angles last night. Like, isn't there one camera that's like, switch off? But they're like, no, they just like watched him do this. And then, yeah, you had R-Truth come out, try to get the title back, and Maverick ended up succeeding, tripping on a cameraman, which ended up looking great, and running the hell out of there, man. But when they showed that replay of R-Truth losing the title to these Fox Sports dude, I think it was Fox Sports.
Yeah, Fox Sports, yeah.
And then before he leaves, like this Fox Sports guy's like, "This ain't over," and then R-Truth turns around and says something to him. I don't remember what it was, but like R-Truth's hilarious. He's got really good timing, really good comedic timing too. So I like it. I enjoyed it. But Kevin Owens, it would have been cool to see him be like, "Well, look, I'm not in the King of the Ring anymore. I'm kind of like feuding with Shane and Elias." Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it was the right move not to have him pick up the title, but part of me would have liked to see what would have been.
He could have just pinned him. And then when Drake Maverick or R-Truth came in the ring, he could have just thrown the title at them and been like, get out of here with this.
No, that would have been stupid.
Why, Alundra Blaze did it. Didn't she just like threaten somebody into it? And then DiBiase bought it off Alundra Blaze?
Matt, he should have put her in the $1 Million Dream. and then put her in the
wastebasket.
Just dragged her into a wastebasket.
Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler have won the Tag Team Turmoil match on Raw this week. They get a shot at Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins at Clash of Champions. The internet absolutely fucking burnt on this one, and I could understand it. It's two dudes that have never ever been a tag team before. They beat out 7 other teams that have been tag teams for a while now, and they're going to face another tag team that is just two dudes thrown together at Clash of Champions. So WWE obviously doesn't give a fuck about their tag team division. And you know what? I'm okay with it because their tag team division sucks.
It's interesting, that match, because like you said, there's 7 teams?
I think there was 8 total.
Well, whatever. There was a lot of teams. And you have all these tag teams that they spent so much time building, investing in, pushing them towards tag team runs, or they've had them, or they're waiting their turns. And also, and I heard AOP was going to return in this match as well too, the Authors of Pain. But instead, no. Let's throw in a new tag team. And a lot of people were like, as soon as they saw this tag team in there, they're like, well, these guys are going to win, because like, why are they even in? And look, you have Dolph Ziggler, who's been doing a lot of favors, helping making people look strong, putting them over. You know, his match with Goldberg turned out to be, you know, pretty good for Goldberg. And I think they wanted to, like, well, look, you know, we'll put you in a match. And Robert Roode, we haven't had you in a match. We haven't had you pick up a win in ages. Let's see what happens and throw them together. I was like, what the hell is this? The match moved along really quickly. Lots of quick eliminations. A double DQ, which was stupid. But then when we start getting down to the nitty-gritty, the match, the Revival, and so forth, we got some decent tag team wrestling. But they picked up the win. So you have Ziggler and Roode going on, like you said, to face the tag team champions, who were also thrown together at Clash of Champions. I will say, though, after the match was said and done, I didn't entirely hate the combination.
I didn't at all.
I didn't think it was terrible. Look, I'm going to look into the future here. I foresee the tag team match at Clash of Champions being, obviously the Braun Strowman and Seth versus these two. I do feel that during this match, Braun's going to make his turn. It ended up costing him the tag team titles, or one way or the other. You know, maybe he puts him with a power slam, and then their two just pick apart the bones, and it actually weakens him a little bit going into the main event, or I'm assuming it will be the main event. And that's where the heel turn will take place, and you'll have Ziggler and Roode pick up the titles. So I don't know. It was a very long match. It seemed like they're just throwing a bunch of talent in there to get them on TV. You know, they could have given a little bit more time to Sasha and Natty, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. The tag team turmoil was turmoil.
It was poo. Hershey squirts. That's what it was. It was Hershey squirts. We also found out at the end, the last 6 minutes of SmackDown is all they gave this story. But we found out that Eric Rowan is actually the one responsible for the attacks on Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan allegedly had no idea about it, smacked the living shit out of Eric Rowan, which was pretty awesome. Went down to the ring, got speared, SmackDown's over. So you got to think, are we going to get it at Clash of Champions? Are we going to well, you know, in the foreseeable future, we're going to have Reigns versus Rowan, and Reigns then against Daniel Bryan.
Tune in next week. I feel like SmackDown's all been like, tune in next week. That was such a mind screw when it's like, that guy looks just like
Eric Rowan, and
you're like, what?
Are we never going to hear from him?
It'd be funny if like next week, like, Daniel Bryan comes out with Eric Rowan and he's like, Eric, I have to pay you. I have to teach you a lesson. You know, it's going to hurt me more than it hurts you. And he beats him down, but it's actually the other actor, the other dude. And like Daniel Bryan is just like, Rowan's like, that's not Eric Rowan. He's like, of course it is. What are you talking about? This is Eric Rowan. Like it was ridiculous how they had the guy sit across from Eric Rowan and they looked just like each other. And yeah, like you said, they're not going to use him anymore. So I feel like they should have done Harper, right? They should have brought Harper back. It would have been a perfect time.
1,000,000%.
But yeah, it looks like we're going to be going towards Roman versus Daniel Bryan. And yeah, he slapped the crap out of Rowan. I'm like, every slap he laid in there, I'm like, if I was Eric Rowan, I'd be like,
yeah, but Daniel's nasty, made Eric Rowan relevant.
Yeah, that's true. I like Daniel's crazy acting. He's kind of unraveling at the seams. The spear could have been a little bit nicer, but regardless, at least it's heading somewhere. And I guess next week we're gonna have to tune in to find out. Did Roman just spear him because he just doesn't like Daniel Bryan, or does he know something that we don't know? And maybe he did tell Rowan what to do. You know, people are thinking it's the breakup of Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan, but maybe it's not. Maybe we're just going to find out next week that he really did tell him to pull the trigger on this. So we'll have to tune in and find out. But that was the way they ended off.
What
SmackDown.
A cliffhanger!
They didn't have much
Holy
time.
Holy shit!
Well, week after week after week on SmackDown, right? So they only got 2 hours,
and it's an easy 2 hours. I'll give it that. But Jesus, give them 6 minutes at the end. I mean, they advertise this as being, you know, one of the main storylines going on SmackDown, and they gave him 6 minutes at the end. It was a little, whatever. It was a little. They're telling this story pretty slow, if you ask me.
Yeah, fair enough. But we did get some quality matches this week, and before we move on too far, I do want to give props to both Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre. I really like this match. We did see Ricochet advance in the King of the Ring. I was a little bit upset because I am a Drew McIntyre fan. I also like Ricochet. But look, Drew could hang in there with anybody. If you're small, big, tall, fat, large, whatever your style is, I loved it. And, you know, it was a very good match, and it was believable. So I'm cool with that. And then another one, Ali versus Buddy Murphy. That was a really good match. I was a little bit upset about that, too, because I like Buddy Murphy. I always have been a fan. If you guys tune into Talkamania, I talk a lot about this guy. And the match itself was fantastic. I thought Buddy Murphy pulled on a lot of offense, had the match within his grasp. Ali pulls out that sick-ass, head scissor DDT in between the ropes. Really it was nasty. And the way that Buddy took it and sold it. And then when he did do the 450 off the top rope, the little small details I like when people were getting pinned. Basically, Buddy's trying to kick out, but he's too weak because he's defeated, and it looked really, really good. So that match was amazing. Maybe my match of the week. There's quite a few good ones this week, but major props that these two duos.
Justin Roberts chimes in with 205 Live quality for the Ali and Buddy Murphy match.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also saw Chad Gable defeat Shelton Benjamin to advance to the second round of the King of Ring tournament. No surprise there. However, short match, not really much to take away from it. They're really pinning Chad Gable as the underdog in this. I think everybody knew he was going to go over on Shelton. And then we also had The Miz and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin advanced. We are going to see it.
King Baron Corbin.
We are going to see it. I guarantee you it's going to be Baron Corbin, King Baron Corbin, and it's going to be phenomenal. I can't watch The Way to Burn.
And we're all going to have specials on Friday night.
Specials on Friday nights?
The Friday night special.
I don't know what this is.
Applebee's.
Oh, TGI Fridays, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Question. We've seen the OC for a few weeks. They were in that tag team turmoil match. They really got absolutely no time given there. Nothing to elevate them. My question for you. Are we ever going to get a fourth member of the OC, or is this it? Is this going to be another wasted faction, or do you think maybe after Clash of Champions, because we still don't know who AJ Styles is fighting, correct? Okay, so we don't know who he's fighting. OC doesn't have a match, so are they just going to be left off the card? Are they going to progress the OC continually, and will this actually be a faction, or will it be just another, threesome that we forget about in a few weeks?
Well, I hope it's not a threesome we forget about, because I remember of every threesome that I've been a part of. But look, I digress, my friends. I don't know. I have to think that they're going to do more with this. I really hope so. They've teased quite a few things before. They've teased Finn Balor joining, and that is kind of my best guess. I would think when he does come back, why not have him come back and join the club? Have him do a heel run. It could be exciting. It could be fun to watch these guys go around and cause havoc. I think they started off hot. I think they've been taking a few losses here or there. But they do have the potential. We have Survivor Series coming up. It's a perfect time to have the OC versus another team. Maybe even bring in Undisputed Era. Who knows? We've been talking about how much we want that match. It could be cool to have them versus the NXT team as well, or maybe another team within the WWE. But they would need more members than 3, so a perfect time to throw Balor in there. So I'd be totally down. I really hope so, and I'm not giving up on the OC just yet.
Yeah, Balor, what he's going to be, he got married. Oh, he got married. We didn't even talk about that. Finn Balor got married. Whatever, who cares? We don't know who the chick is. So
she's a very attractive lady.
Is she? I mean, Justin's going to tell me very shortly in the chat who she is and her whole backstory. But anyways, Finn Balor got married. He's taken a couple months off, I heard. So if he does come back, let it be better than Sasha Banks' return. Just let it be better.
So no blue hair?
Yeah, I guess no blue hair. Yeah, that would help. But just give him a heel run, throw him in the OC, or have him go against the OC. I don't fucking know. Just
have
something
him
to
lose
do
the abs, and he comes back with like a big beer belly, and he's just like, "Yeah, I got married. I'm married now." He lets himself go. That's his gimmick. I'm married.
All right, let's move on to AEW because that is why we're all here, baby. Being the Elite, Road to All Out. This week, we mentioned it earlier, but we found out... Oh, no, we mentioned it off camera. We found out this week that Moxley will not be able to make All Out and that he's been replaced by Pac to take on Kenny Omega. So a lot of people are disappointed that we're not going to get this payoff between Moxley and Kenny Omega. However, we're going to see the debut of Pac in AEW, and I think that's pretty fucking amazing.
I think so, too. I think if you're not going to get Moxley, I think Pac is a great substitute. He's not obviously going to make up for the hype and, I guess, the anticipation we wanted to see. I think Omega versus Moxley could be a matchup of one of the matchups of the year. I'm not going to say because there's lots of cool shit going around in the world in wrestling. But I think a lot of people were interested in looking at this match and saying, well, who goes over? The way they're building Omega kind of now into a heel as well, too. You would have think it would have been Moxley. And I think Omega would have been down to give it to Moxley. But disappointing. I'm upset because we're getting together this weekend, guys. Yep. So Talkamania will be in the house this weekend, covering All Out. We're going to talk before the show. We're going to tweet during the show, and we'll be there after the show, after we're having drinks and we're enjoying ourselves. So it's going to be really cool, guys. Make sure to tune that out. We'll be tweeting out details as they come. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that we're not getting this match. But at the same time, I'm actually happy that they're taking the time to make sure he gets healed up properly. He had a bad staph infection on the elbow in the WWE. It actually, he said it was almost fatal at one point. So, as bad as an infection can be, that's not good news. So it's good that they're actually treating him properly. And when he does come back, we'll get that match finally, and it'll be worth it, hopefully, once we finally get it. We're getting Pac, though. I don't know if this is going to be a once only. I don't know what his contract status is with AEW. But I'm also very interested on who goes over in this match now.
Well, you got to think it's going to be Kenny Omega. If Pac's going to just be jumping in, yeah, I think it would be pretty rough on Kenny. He's suffered the most losses out of all the VPs at AEW. So for him to go down to Pac, I mean, we'll keep our predictions for the end of the show.
He's a nasty bastard, man.
He's a nasty bastard, that's for sure. Justin in the chat says the promo made it even hotter. He wants to see the Moxley match even more. Fatal X chimed in with Omega promo was great. I know you didn't love it, but I made you rewatch it, or I kind of told you to rewatch it, and you seem to find it not so bad the second time around.
You're putting me on the hot seat.
I am.
Everyone's going to start throwing some fire at me.
The thing is I know what happens with you is when you watch something and then you see Twitter's reaction to it, Twitter's reaction was hot. They loved it. But the thing you got to understand is that Kenny Omega, as great as he is in the ring, here's a perfect example. He's not the greatest guy in the mic. Like, he's great on the mic. He's good at his farewells. But I find that he kind of lacks a bit of the in-ring promo skills that we're kind of used to. And that's why people love this promo so much, because it was good considering everything else.
Well, it's interesting you say that. And I'm kind of changing my view on it, because usually you watch a promo and it's like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass, I'm aggressive, and blah, blah, blah. It's very angry and aggressive. And him, he's just kind of like, he's very casual when he gives his promo. It's very chill and very casual. And I'm like, where's the aggression? It sounds like he needs to try a little bit harder. He needs to get more anger out there. But you know what? I actually kind of getting his style, right? I watch a lot of his wrestling now. I haven't watched too many of his promos. And all of his promos kind of follow the same rhythm, right? So I'm kind of getting on tone with that. But the only thing is look, he's getting mad at Moxley for reasons that, he's done the exact same things. So a lot of it is very hypocritical. And I know Kenny Omega. I saw his special that he had out there with Kota Ibushi. He's a nice guy. He's very understanding. He's not going to get mad at Moxley for getting an injury.
That's called kayfabe? Kayfabe?
It's called, yeah,
kayfabe.
I know. But it's just I don't know, Kenny Omega, we know who he is, and this, I feel like this isn't Kenny Omega, right? But anyways, I like where it's headed. I like the fact. Well, here's the thing that I will say: they really tried to play this thing up like he learned it live. Like, oh, I learned it during my interview. What? Where you learned that from, Cody? No one told me. And they really pushed that as like he legit.
Even it was so
learned.
good.
There's no way I believe he just learned that.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
No, but they really tried to push the fact that he learned that live. Like,
good for them for pushing kayfabe.
I guess.
I'm gonna argue.
Anyways,
this.
Man, I didn't. No, I watched it again today. I watched Being the Elite, and I'm hyped. I'm excited to see what happens with Pac. I would have liked to see a promo on Pac, maybe heading into the event now. We're missing that, right? So
yeah, I was a bit surprised on this week's episode of Being the Elite how they had Kenny Omega on there. There was no Pac. Fingers crossed that we still have one more episode of the Road to All Out that will feature, some C4 footage, and on top of that, some sort of a Pac promo. I'm excited. I'm really stoked to see Pac versus Omega.
Yeah, man.
Just purely for pro wrestling. I think it's going to be a really cool match. And I think a lot of the eyes that were on Neville in the WWE are going to see him where they haven't seen him before. So
didn't he have like a gnarly injury recently? Like he got a hole in his leg or something like that, like a scrotum or something.
No, he did. He did have something in his leg, but I think that might have been an old photo. But I'm not sure. Justin could check on it, and we do.
Yeah, let us know.
We do have a fact check on Finn Balor's wife. She's a super hot sports commentator / interviewer. Unfortunately, we don't know her name.
Doesn't matter. She's a super hot something.
Give women a chance. All right. It was also announced on this week's episode of Being the Elite that Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt will be facing off against
SCU!
Ooh, not local jobbers? No, because I thought they were trying to go for the local jobber route.
No local jobber route. What's really cool about this is that there's no weekly episode. We all know this, right? So they're building feuds based off of nothing, and they're kind of using humor to be the common denominator between it or for them, and it's really fucking working.
I just don't like a Luchasaurus is just like a regular voice, like, oh, hey, hi, I'm Luchasaurus.
He
should be like,
that's the goal.
Oh, he should be like roaring and kind of stupid shit. Like he makes the stupid dinosaur jokes on social media. Have him be a bit.
So you're down for a
talk raspy or something. Talk raspy at least.
You're down for a kayfabe dinosaur dude, but Kenny Omega can't be different than he is.
Well, look, you know what you're getting with a kayfabe dinosaur dude. I'm upset that he doesn't do the gator roll on the ground, man. I think he should definitely put that into his arsenal. But out of that whole segment that we saw there, right? I mean, I like the two of them together. I just don't like when Luchasaurus speaks right now. But Johnny Impact.
Yeah.
What is he? Is he in AEW? What's the deal? Why is he on the? What's going on?
I think he's out. So I think he's out of Impact. Justin's
but his wife is not.
Was that his wife that was with him?
Yeah, and I think she was or is the women's champion. I don't know if she dropped it yet or not, and Justin will let me know very shortly. But yes, why are they there? Does he know why? I don't know. I saw it today and I was like, what? And I like John Morrison, Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, whatever you want to call him.
Wait, is John Morrison the other dude that was in the video with Paige?
No, it was Brad Madoff.
Oh,
or,
sorry.
Whatever his name is, Brad. Yeah,
okay.
And Xavier Woods.
Okay,
and
sorry.
Whatever.
Well, I knew it wasn't Xavier Woods, but I didn't know it wasn't Brad Maddox, whatever his name is. I always get him and Johnny Impact confused. So.
And he's the one who got blacklisted in the industry pretty much after that video. Nobody else, but anyways. But yes, I'm interested to see if this guy. That means he's on his way to AEW. He is a free agent apparently. I think it'd be a great fit for him. But it could be good for him to go to WWE and make like a nice big paycheck, sign a 1-year deal, then go to AEW. I don't know. Anyways, very interested to see them on that video. I kind of was like, damn, I'm excited to see what goes on from here. They saved their dog from being eaten by a Luchasaurus.
Justin has corrected us. Taya is still the Knockouts champion, and I'm assuming that's an Impact. So.
Well, I said I think she is, or she may have lost.
Well,
so I'm kind of
sorry, he's just fact checking, not correcting
Okay,
us.
cool. All right, cool.
On Being Elite, we also had it closed off with a promo from Chris Jericho claiming that if he does not win it All Out in Chicago, that it will be the beginning of the end of the legend of Chris Jericho. So my question is this. They've been booking Hangman Page super strong. The first presser they had when they announced AEW, he guaranteed the fans that he would be the first AEW World Champion. Now, we know that it fell through with Pac. However, a few episodes back on either Being the Elite or The Road to, they brought that clip up. And he talked to the fans saying that I haven't forgotten what I said and I'm going to do it. So now we have two dudes. Like, there's more on the line than just the title. So what I'm asking you is, did AEW sort of book themselves into a corner with this storyline?
Oh, look at you. Booking themselves into a corner? I don't know. I mean, Jericho has been advertised for one or two of the first shows at AEW. Is he going to wind down? I mean, I don't know. I think there's a bunch for him to do over there, and he signed a multi-year deal. So, I mean, look, if you want to look at it in the grand scheme of things, of course we're heading towards the end of Chris Jericho. He's been in the industry for almost 30, 25 years or whatever it is. He's been around forever. He looked great, by the way, in the video, and I think the match itself is going to be great. I'm not a huge Hangman Page fan just because I haven't watched
yet.
Maybe we'll see. I don't really see what they see in him so much. I just see him go in the ring with other talent that kind of outshine him. I don't know. I'm not sold on him yet. Hopefully we'll get there. He did promise he'd be the first champion. Doesn't mean much to me. Look, man, who knows if Jericho didn't say, look, man, I will sign for you guys and I will sign for a less amount to help you guys out, but I want to be the first champion. Jericho has gone and been the first undisputed champion, combining the WCW and the WWE champion. He's done so many things in his career that, this could be a really good kind of pinnacle or a really good thing to kind of put onto that resume, being the first ever AEW champion. So it's kind of interesting. I ultimately think Page, has a good chance of being that one to be the first champion. But man, I honestly think they should give it to Jericho. But that's just me.
But do you see, okay, without giving away our predictions.
Old balls, I know, old balls, but
without giving away our predictions, yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what I'm talking about. Is if Jericho loses, does Jericho not become as big of a name in AEW? And on the flip side of it, if Hangman wins, then when someone's flipping through the channels on Wednesday night and sees some dude they've never seen walking around with the title, I mean, that's a pretty big loss compared to if they're flipping around and it's Chris Jericho holding the title.
Well, the indie scene, I'm not I'm not the majority. I'm a little bit the minority here, and I'm growing into the majority. And I think that, people who see Hangman Page and are training to AEW, they're going to know who he is.
Yes, if they're tuning into AEW at 8 o'clock, knowing that it's on, they're going to know who it is. I'm talking about the rando. We're talking casual fans here. WWE's target market. And it's eventually going to have to be AEW's target market too if they want to fucking survive. So the question is do they go in with Jericho winning the title and trying to get that casual fan, or do they go ahead and give the indie guys what they really deserve and have it Hangman Page? So I feel like they did book themselves into a corner. Slightly.
Maybe have Jericho win the title, and then on their first television episode, have him drop it to Page. People will tune in, Jericho's the champion, and then they'll know who this guy is because it's the first episode when they drop the title.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good approach. Jericho's saying if I lose, it'll be the end of, I've heard that before from other superstars as well, too. It won't be the end of anything. I think we're reading too much into it. But I think, maybe having Jericho win it and then dropping it to Page early on could be good as well, too. But you're right. It's an interesting scenario they booked themselves into. They might not know who's going to win. It's very possible. Or they might have known the day they had that press conference earlier on, when they created the AEW.
Well, I would have assumed Pac versus Hangman Page, we were getting Hangman winning it. But the fact that Chris Jericho had to replace Pac, I just found it very interesting that they brought the storyline of Page mentioning that back into the mix, because I think a lot of people would have forgotten about it, and then they wouldn't have been in this predicament that they're in.
But also imagine the internet, right? Jericho wins the championship. The internet's gonna be like, what? Oh, that's your first step as a company. You have this guy who's old balls.
They're getting fucked. Whoever wins this match. That's why titles ruin promotions.
We've had to talk about.
We've had a lot of talks about this, but titles have ruined the WWE, and I really hope that AEW doesn't suffer that. But whatever. Those are all the butthurt snowflakes. But that wraps up our talk on Being the Elite and Road to All Out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to return with our All Out predictions.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? We just want to take a quick second to tell you guys about this new app that we've been using. It's called Podcoin. It is a podcast player. It's great. If you're not familiar with it yet, I highly suggest you checking it out. It's a free app. It's available on iPhone, on Android, and you could actually use it. You could turn your listens into money that you could put towards, Starbucks gift cards, Amazon gift cards, or if you want to donate the cash to charity, you can do that as well. Subscribe to us on there. I mean, we're available there. All of our other podcast friends are available there as well. And actually, if you're new to the app and use the code Talkamania, you'll get an extra 300 pod coins just for signing up if you use our code. So highly suggest checking it out today. Again, that's Podcoin, available on iPhone and on Android. Now let's go back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Des and J-Bob's Predictions.
Oof, that graphic can't come soon enough, man. Because I find just sitting there while those things are going on is super fucking awkward. But we are working on it. Yeah, beer. You got beer. I'm just looking around, trying to be busy, fucking around with the chat a little bit. But we do have graphics coming in, so the production value is going to go up a little bit more. And I just noticed that my camera in particular looks like shit. So I apologize for that. I'm fucking around with the settings.
He's just ugly, man. Don't.
All right, let's get into this. It's AEW All Out.
I'm excited, guys. And before we get into it, I'm going to remind the folks again listening, we will be covering it beforehand, during, after. We're going to have our Talkamania After Dark. We had a lot of fun. The last pay-per-view, Fight for the Fallen. A lot of you guys tuned in. We had a lot of fun, really interactive. We were sauced, lots of laughs. So make sure to check out again as well, too, this coming Saturday night after All Out.
Yeah, and Melissa and Cha-Cha will be involved in that as well. Hopefully, if they're not passed out.
She will. My wife will definitely be passed out.
All right, let's get into it. All Out Predictions, AEW's big pay-per-view. I don't know if this is their SummerSlam or their WrestleMania. I don't know which one's going to take.
I think it's too early to tell.
It's either this one or Double or Nothing, but we're back. And it seemed like we got here really quickly. I'm super excited for it. Jealous of everybody that's going to be there. Everybody's going to be at StarCast. Enjoy yourselves if you're going to be there and you're listening. But let's jump right in the party, baby, and let's start things off with the buy-in. We got Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. Dez, take it away.
All right. So Private Party, look, I'm not going to lie here, guys. I'm not going to lie myself look stupid. I am new to AEW. Well, obviously we all are, but I'm new to a lot of talent that is in AEW. The Private Party, I've gotten to know a little bit over the last few events. Angelico, Jack Evans, I'm not as familiar with, right? So I have to think, maybe they're going to give a win to Private Party, a team that's been wrestling more prominently on the events, and that is my pick, Private Party. Not too much logic. I'm just playing it safe.
I know these guys more. No, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Private Parties had, their introduction was on one of the Road 2s. Angelico and Jack Evans have kind of been, Angelico. Justin's corrected me. It's pronounced Angelico.
That's why he's here.
So Angelico and Jack Evans. Jack Evans. They've been eating a lot of losses since their debut. But I'm going with you on this one. Private Party just seems like they are there to grow, and Angelico and Jack Evans are kind of there to put talent over. So not much more to base it off of other than that.
And who doesn't enjoy a Private Party?
I love private parties. This one's going to be tough. I'm pretty sure it's on the buy-in, but the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal, where the winner receives a shot at the inaugural Women's Championship. We know.
Is there details out about like that championship match is going to be one-on-one? Is it like?
I think so.
The one who doesn't win the battle royal, like the person wins the battle royale. There has to be a second person at least. Like where does that second person come from? And don't tell me Brandy Rhodes is just going to be like, it's me.
Oh shit, that's true. I didn't think about that. I don't know how they're going to determine the second one. I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of a match, but there's not much time because.
Or it'll be Brandy Rhodes saying, "It's me."
I really don't.
Figure skating. Whee!
I really don't think they'll do that. I think it would be a bad move, but you never know.
It would be terrible.
I don't know most of the women that are in this match. I'm not going to lie. And I don't think the casual wrestling fan would. Not that I'm a casual wrestling fan, but I'm very casual when it comes to the indies. So all I can do is pick from the girls that I know. So I'm just going to pick Britt Baker because that's the only girl I can think of. I don't think they're going to give it to... Is Brandy Rhodes even in it?
She probably will. Like, they got to fit 20 people, right? 21
21.
people, right? So I'm going to be excited to see who they get in this match. I hear Austin Kong's going to be in there. I guess the other Kong's going to be in there as
you could
well
assume.
too. So like there'll be whoever we've seen so far plus more. I'm excited to see if they can pull anybody who we might know and might not be surprised that they're actually in AEW. Even with Johnny Impact and Tara as well. Like, is they pull some strings with Impact that they can appear for this event? I don't know. I doubt it. But it's gonna be cool to see who is there. But look, man, I'm gonna make not even a bold prediction. I'm gonna make I feel pretty safe with my prediction. I'm going to say right now that your winner of the 21 Women Casino Battle Royale, Nyla Rose.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's 2019.
Yeah.
It's 2019. This is where we are. We're being progressive. It's going to be Nyla Rose.
I could see it being Nyla Rose and Britt Baker for the inaugural Women's Championship. So it's one of those two that are going to win it. Just for the interest of fun, I'll go with Britt Baker. You can keep Nyla Rose. And I'm still waiting for Nyla Rose to use our intro music again.
No, she knew she was copyright infringing on us, so she dropped that shit. Drop it like it's hot.
All right, let's move on to the main card. Let's do the SCU versus Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. I'll start this one off. SCU has kind of, not won a whole shitload, but Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt are so fucking over. They are so over, and they haven't won anything either. So it is kind of a toss-up. I'm just going to go with my gut and go with Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt, just because SCU's involvement seems to be a little bit more backstage, but there's such a prominent role on being the elite that, I don't know, maybe they need the win? I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know how to predict these like I do WWE.
Well, it also seems like they're kind of there, or at least the older members of SCU are there to kind of put over talent. At least help, I guess, get them going. But you know what? SCU is going to be a great tag team. They're going to be a great faction in the AEW in the long run. But yes, like you said, I think Luchasaurus, I think Jungle Boy, and I think Marco Stunt as well too. Look, they just announced the recent signing of this guy, so this is the official first match of him in AEW technically. So they're not going to have him lose. And like you said, these guys are so over with the fans. So I'm more interested to see what they're going to do in the ring, the things that they can do as a tag team. We've seen this, and it's been amazing and innovative. Imagine what they can do as a trio. So this is going to be a match, guys, to check out and be excited to watch. Lots of cool things going on, but I'm going to have to agree with the Boozerweight over here. I do think it's going to be Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt picking up the big W. It's a W for those of you
watching.
Like
a giant U.
SCU.
Best Friends versus the Dark Order. There's a stipulation attached to this. It's pretty confusing. They're going to get a bye in the Tag Team Championship tournament or something like that. Best Friends, we haven't seen them since Double or Nothing, I believe. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. The Dark Order, we've seen them everywhere. They were also at C4 Wrestling. I'm going to go with...
They're local boys, too.
Yeah, local boys from just over there. Gatineau, Quebec.
DDO or something?
Gatineau, Quebec.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm going with the Dark Order. I just think that they are a team that can... I don't know. I just don't really buy into Best Friends, and I think the Dark Order could be that first tag team to carry those titles. Oh, sorry. They're not winning the titles here. So I just see them being... They can carry a storyline. There's a lot more they can do with the Dark Order than they can with Best Friends.
See, I actually initially put Best Friends to win this match just because I feel like people are going to want to see more matches with the Dark Order. They don't want to see them have that bye and then sit for a week and, wait in the background and stuff. And the Best Friends, I think they've lost quite a few matches, so it might be good to give them a rub because otherwise they're going to be that jobbing tag team. But I do agree. I do think that Dark Order will be probably be a prominent tag team in this tournament. But look, you went and played devil's advocate with me, and we picked earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and I will say that Best Friends will win this match because you know what, man? Talkamania and you and me, my friend. Well, at least I like to think so. I know you probably don't. We're a little bit of the best friends.
Ooh.
Some days.
We got Riho versus Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
Is she one of the Japanese girls that was in that 3v3 match? Or is she on Fight for the Fallen? Was she the one that Britt Baker accidentally tagged?
No, she wasn't one of the one where she accidentally
Okay.
tagged.
Sorry, that was
she was in it
racist.
earlier, and she couldn't appear. She couldn't appear at the last match because of some booking or no visa stuff or passport stuff or something like that. So now she's available, and this is basically their. I won't say their Oscar, but this is their shining star, I guess, in the sense in terms of the Asian
More than
competitors that they do
Riho?
have. Rio's amazing. I like her too. She has that history with Kenny Omega as well. I think she'll be a big part in this. But I think there's something special about her, and there is because I've watched her on the indie scene. She is really good, guys. So this match itself, these two women are amazing competitors. They're going to put on a hell of a match. But I have to give it to Hikaru because it's her match. This is like her official debut match for AEW. So Sheeta all the way. That's my pick.
I'm just gonna go with Riho based on the loss that she suffered last time, and I think she lost the first time as well. But
No, you're not going to have somebody coming in on their first match losing. I mean, look, man, Rio's great, and she's got a great future. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she will pick up the win. I don't know. Hikaru Shida, she's got this one. She's got it. She's got
all right,
it.
let's move on to the triple threat between Darby. See, I wrote it Allen. I should have. Oh no,
It's
you wrote it
Allen.
all in. Son of a bitch. Darby all in. No, it's Allen. See, you wrote it wrong.
It's Allen. It's written Allen, but all in, but pronounced
I know,
Allen.
but whenever I type it, I type Allen so that I don't read it like an idiot. So Darby Allen versus
You're an idiot.
Janela, Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc. This match is, I'm so fucking excited for this match. I think it's, well, I'll get into this later, but
It's going to be a great triple threat. It's going to be all kinds of cool, innovative moves, some spots, and Joey Janela is going to make us go, "What? Are you dead?"
Darby Allen's going to make us do that too. And
yeah, man. Oh, all over.
And I really hope that we're going to see a little bit more from Jimmy Havoc. I feel like he's kind of the dude who's he's there to put people over. He's an older guy, but I want to see what he has to offer, and I want to see him get the stage, if you know what I mean. But if I have to choose one, I'm going to go with Darby Allin just because he hasn't won yet. The match against Cody ended in a draw. I think a lot of people liked him, so I'm going to go with Darby Allin.
I did. Cool, and I agree with you. I think Darby's going to take this one. Look, Joey Janela is not going to win matches. We know what kind of wrestler he is. I don't mind if he wins it. I think giving him a win once in a while is going to help him out, but I don't need him to get a win. He's going to go out there and make us jump out of our seats and get us to pop and get us to chant. And, you know, he's a fun guy. He's going to do a spot out there. It'll be great. He's going to make the other guys look great. We saw him at C4 Wrestling. It was an amazing night. He had the fans eating out the palm of his hand. Even got to give him a pat on the back and chat with him a little bit afterwards. So kind of feel like I know him a little bit. But I'm excited to see him in this match. And I agree with you when it comes to Jimmy Havoc as well, too. He's been putting people over, really hasn't had a chance to shine. I think, you know, having him in a type of match like this would be really cool. But I think Darby, you know, he's kind of more up and coming. And I think his match with Cody Rhodes was spectacular. I think this win is going to go over well on him. And I think the AEW sees something special in this guy. And if you guys don't know him, look into him and look at his story coming into AEW. He has a hell of a story. So this guy definitely has a good future ahead of him. Really excited, and I think it's going to be Darby's night.
We got Justin in the chat saying the longest reigning Progress champion at just under 2 years. His pick for this match is Jimmy Havoc.
Nice, man. I know he's a Havoc fan too, so that's awesome. I'm totally down if he picks up the win. Every competitor in this match is exciting, so it's going to be one of the better. Well, they all look like great matches, but it'll be a fantastic.
I love the
match.
dynamic behind this. I feel like this has a pretty good story going into it. These three tagged together in a 3v3 match at the last pay-per-view.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even remember that.
And then a miscue backstage, and they all started fucking going at it. So I think that's awesome. I think that they found a way to, you know, keep that gray area between heels and faces, and it's not like they're, you know, written in stone like they are in WWE. So.
And you know how much of a fan I am at face versus face matches, man. I just can't wait till we get like heel versus heel. Yeah, I guess Joey's kind of on a fine line there, but people love him, so.
All right, let's move on to another really interesting match. We got Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. We know that Tully Blanchard's going to be in Shawn Spears' corner. Now the question is who's coming out with Cody? Is it MJF? Is it Brandy? Who are we going to get here? And if it is MJF, are we going to see the MJF heel turn that everybody is assuming is going to happen on Cody? And then we're going to get MJF not teaming up, but kind of being friendly towards Shawn Spears.
I think you spoiled it. I think you just spoiled it for me because that actually.
Oh, you weren't thinking about that?
It made a lot of sense. I think it's totally going to be MJF. I don't see him on the card. So it makes sense for him to come out with Cody Rhodes. Don't think too deeply. It's not going to be DDP. It's not going to be Dustin. It'll be MJF. These guys have been tied at the hip lately. C4 as well too. He's been very protective, very much around Cody, not liking Sean Spears. And look, again, I'll plug it, guys. Check out our social media. We had a video where we captured Sean Spears making an appearance at C4 Wrestling at an indie show in Ottawa. Really, really cool. Check it out. But yes, cool matchup. I'm excited. I know AEW sees a lot in Sean Spears. They're trying to make him into the superstar that WWE couldn't. And it makes you think, what's going to happen? MJF kind of causing some kind of ruckus. And, look, I do think, first of all, just before I finish, Sean Spears is going to win this match. Cody Rhodes doesn't need to win. He's a very humble guy. He will give the win over to him. And I think he needs the rub. They're high on this guy. But man, I have to think, after you said that, having MJF being involved in this some way or the other, and maybe joining those guys, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to have that backstab or that kind of heartbreak of having Cody Rhodes trusting MJF? But he should have known. He should have known all along.
Justin in the chat says, it's far too soon for MJF to turn on Cody. I could see that as well. I will agree with you 100%. Sean Spears is winning this match. It just makes sense. Cody doesn't need it. Sean really, really needs it.
Yeah, he really needs it. That's what it comes down to. The guy got married, man. Come on.
If MJF... Okay. I think Brandy Rose is going to come out with Cody, and I think during the entrance, MJF is going to come out and convince Brandy to go back and let him go out with him. Then I think we're either going to see the heel turn or, heel turn on Cody. I mean, MJF's a fucking heel. But I think we're going to see it teased, at least. Like, fucking teased. We're going to see the beginning of the crack.
They might tease it. It'd be cool to see, like, MJF getting knocked the hell out until he gets in the ring to start some shit, and then Tessa Blanchard walks out. Imagine that.
Oh, my God. There's so much they can do with this.
Impossible, but, a guy can dream.
What's really cool about this is it's going to give us... I'm so interested in this match because I want to know how they're going to handle... friends splitting up, because in the WWE it's very obvious. Two people get together and you're like, okay, well, they're going to start planning the breakup already. The seeds are going to be planted. I would actually really like to see MJF go in there and just completely protect Cody, and there is no sign. I'm interested to see how AEW is going to handle these kind of storylines.
Well, that's it. They're going to want to stay away from the predictable WWE stuff, right? They've taken knocks at WWE's writing storylines and all that kinds of stuff, saying, let's do WWE, and they're trying to kind of keep out of things. So, yes, you're right. Absolutely. It's an amazing, amazing point, and it's going to be interesting to see how this match plays out and how the progression between MJF and Cody Rhodes plays out. Like Justin said, maybe it's too early to pull that trigger, but maybe they're going to be unpredictable, and they will. I don't know. We'll see.
Justin just chimed in again, and he kind of seems to be agreeing with what we're saying. Really let it go on for a long time until we completely believe it's a genuine friendship. And I think that's the right move to pull. So I still think MJF is going to be in that corner, though. I do. Okay, we got the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks for the AAA Tag Team titles in a ladder match. I'm not even going to try and say the name of the match. It's Spanish. It's some sort of whatever. I'm not going to try it. I said it.
You tried it. You failed.
So Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks. It seems to be the Lucha Brothers keep winning in Mexico. Young Bucks keep winning in the United States. But the AAA titles are on the line.
They are? Mm.
So they will be hanging. I think it would be, I don't know the relationship between AEW and AAA. I'm assuming it's pretty good. But do they want to have those titles on the Young Bucks again? Because they're...
Yeah, well, Lucha Brothers are part of AEW anyway, so they're in the AEW.
Yeah, but the titles aren't, right? So come October, I believe that nobody in AEW is going to be doing any other promotions. But
they have time to drop the titles.
Yeah, but they've already done this. They've already won it and dropped it.
Yeah, but the Lucha Brothers can go and drop it to any other team and then just come back to AEW.
No, but I'm saying that's why I think the Lucha Brothers are going to win this match. Because I don't think the Young Bucks are going to have enough time to win it, lose it, and then Lucha Brothers either lose it again.
You're looking at the fine details.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks. I don't know who you got.
I'm just counting my fingers. I'm like, Lucha won, the Young Bucks won, Lucha, Young Bucks, Lucha. I have to say the Young Bucks are going to win this one just because I feel like they've lost a bunch against Lucha Brothers recently. So I don't know. I mean, you made good points though. I mean, like it's a lot easier for Lucha Brothers to go on and just drop the titles while the Young Bucks are gearing up for their TV
Yeah.
debut. But I think people are gonna want to see the Young Bucks pick up a win. It'll make them happy, feel warm and fuzzy inside. And I'll go with the Young Bucks on this one.
If there is a way that one of each team climb that ladder and grab those belts and they fall down into some sort of a draw, I'll go with that because I feel like not that they booked themselves into a corner with this one, but it's too hard to predict. So if I'm going to choose one, I'm just going to go with Lucha Brothers. Now, if it is a draw,
that's it. I like when we're
you
competing.
heard it here first.
Cool.
All right, let's go with Pac versus Omega. This one's going to be interesting too, because I'm curious to know what AEW does with injured superstars. Because WWE says, "Get the fuck out of here. You're never to be seen."
Or
again."
you're wrestling through it.
Yeah, one or the other. So it's like, does Moxley make an appearance for this match? Do they continue the storyline between Kenny Omega and Moxley, even though Moxley can't wrestle? Are they going to keep him off of TV? I mean, there's so many things that are going to come out of this, but I really do hope that if Moxley does make an appearance, it's not till the end. I really want to see a pure match between Pac and Omega. I don't know if it's ever happened before. Justin could let us know, but I really want to see this shit.
I don't think it has. But anyways, look, you're saying these things, and I go into this, I'm like, I have my mind made, and you're like, oh, maybe Moxley's going to show up, and maybe this and that, and it makes me start changing my mind. I think, like, look, why not have Moxley there at the very least? If he's got an injury, he can't wrestle, but I'm sure having him there is going to be very important. It's going to be big for him to be there as well, too. There's no doubt about that. Look, I do also feel the same way that I want to have a match that goes from start to finish. I don't want to have interference. I don't want to have somebody coming out and causing some kind of chaos. I want to see Omega go over Pac, or I want to see Pac go over Omega one way or the other. I love that shit. So it's funny because I was like, damn, I straight up have Omega winning this match. Pac's coming in. They want to make Omega look strong going forward, maybe for his match against Moxley. Or would Pac want to come in and only want to have a win because it seemed like his booking was an issue to begin with? But look, we could easily have Moxley make an appearance, come down, get in Kenny's head. Pac picks up a win. Pac gets his win. Omega doesn't look that weak. They build towards their match with Moxley. That's what I'm going with, man. I'm going to go Pac's going to pick up the win, and Moxley's going to play some mind games. We saw that promo with Kenny Omega. Everyone's talking about, saying how amazing it is. As good as it is, I think Moxley's going to respond by showing up at All Out and screwing over Kenny Omega.
You know what? I hope you're right. I love that on paper you had Omega winning, and now that I brought up the Moxley thing, it's changed your mind. I love this influence that I have over you when it comes to AEW. But, yeah, that would completely make sense, and it would be best case scenario for me because it keeps Moxley on TV, it keeps Pac strong, and Omega doesn't, look weak because of the loss. But, God, Omega keeps losing.
It's all right. I mean, like, dude, he's won so much already.
I know, but
in life, in wrestling, and literally in matches. So I think it's all right, and I don't think he cares. I mean, he's looking at the big picture.
I don't think he cares. But anyways, I don't know. So, all right,
who do you got? Did you say who you got?
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with Pac.
All right.
Yeah. Crazy.
I think we won't be many. There will not be many people that agree with us on that. I'm sure.
Maybe. Anyways, let's end this things off with Hangman Adam Page versus Chris Jericho, AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. We touched on this earlier about all the possibilities that can happen and how I think they've booked themselves into the corner. It really comes down to, and this is what sucks, is that it becomes like a corporate main event. This title becomes such a corporate thing. And now that I'm saying it in that sense, I think I've changed my mind. Going into this, I was really thinking it was going to be Chris Jericho, but if AEW really does want to be, the fans' promotion, they really do have to go with Adam Page here. So I'm going to officially pick Adam Page to win this.
I pick Adam Page as well. I do. I think you nailed it on the head. I think they have to make a smart decision here. If they go with Chris Jericho as their first champion, I love it. I would love to see him. I think he earned it. He deserved it. He is amazing to be where he is at his age. I think having him come on TV, the first night, maybe losing to Adam Page would be great. It put eyes on the TV. But I think they need to be smart here, smart businessmen. And if they're competing against the WWE, having what the internet's going to say is that old washed up WWE superstar winning the champion, it's not a good idea. And I think Jericho even knows this himself.
I agree.
So I have to think Adam Page is going to win this. Is it going to be a cut and dry match where Adam Page just wins the title? Probably will be. But part of me has to think maybe, just maybe.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Don't do it.
maybe CM Punk returns in Chicago at All Out. He has history with Chris Jericho. Look, man, a lot of people are saying no, and it very well could be the case. We know he's hyped up for StarCast. We know that he's cut that promo. It's on the internet now, guys. You can check it out. And we don't know. But look at this. The guy's sitting at home. He's bitter about the WWE, hates that shit. If he can basically collect a paycheck while staying in Chicago and sticking it to the WWE, and all it means is going in and doing a go to sleep, well, why not collect that paycheck while sticking it to the WWE? I'm sure he misses the chance. I'm sure he misses the adrenaline. The only reservation would be if he wants to maybe someday go back to WWE and collect a massive paycheck, which I think, the bridge has been burnt. Why not do it? I mean, he's very true to his word, so I think he probably won't show up.
I don't think he will.
But man, what an ending. Because a lot of people are saying, who the hell's Adam Page, right? Well, if you have CM Punk in the main event, people are going to instantly turn eyes and be like, know who Adam Page is at that point because he was involved in this monumental occasion. This is just me getting excited and hoping this is what happens. I don't think it is going to be what happens, but if it does, well, awesome. You heard it here first. You heard it here first on Talkamania. But look, man, Adam Page is gonna be your champion. That's it.
I'm afraid to talk about it because if I eat crow, I'm gonna get it pretty hard on Saturday. However, I feel like it would be a big mistake if CM Punk came to All Out and it was a one and done. I think it's the same thing as just making Jericho your champion. I think if you can get a Jericho versus CM Punk feud following this, I think it's a good move. I don't know.
But then you have a WWE feud, right? So
yeah, but still, I don't know. I feel like a WWE feud will be received by the indie marks way better than a WWE, the inaugural champion of AEW.
Yes. At CM Punk, there's only win you get out of this. So it's like he would be stupid. Turn down a massive paycheck. You don't have to leave your home state. You also get to stick it to the WWE. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. Like, it really seems like a no-brainer. Tony Khan could just drop, boom, show up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of zeros. I will be there, sir. And I will wipe your butt. Come on, guys. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It would be a no-brainer to me. But I also know how strong CM Punk is with his views and sticking to his
Every
beliefs,
time he doesn't show up, his paycheck for when he does decide to show up gets bigger.
Bigger. But it's quite big at this point because he's already had opportunities and chances. We've seen him pop up in the indie scene with a mask.
Allegedly.
No, he has. Okay, guys. But, I don't see why not. He's at home. They want to go on a trip. They want to buy some shiny new things for AJ Lee, come on.
Damn it. I was hoping you weren't going to mention her.
Well, even her too as well. Why wouldn't she be involved in AEW in the near future either? Maybe she'll be in. Well, I don't think she'll be in the Battle Royale.
You're fucking my notes up, you son of a bitch.
If she did, it would spoil everything for the future. So I'm excited. It's going to be an amazing event. There's so many ifs, whats, buts, and cans, and we're going to be there covering it. Talkamania. Make sure to follow us and make sure to tune in because I think it's going to be buzzing all over the internet, and we're going to be excited. This is fresh. It is finally here. We have new Wednesday Night Wars, and it's officially a go. So let's get her done.
All right, before we wrap things up, I was going to ask you if you thought that there would be any other surprises that you would think, any debuts for AEW, anything along those lines. And I was trying to save AJ Lee for my bit because I was going to say, I knew you were going to talk about CM Punk, so I figured, hey, I'm going to switch on Dez and say, hey, what if AJ Lee shows up for the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale and wins it if she is the Joker card at 21?
That would be rad, man. But I only think if she did show up in this event, then you'd know that CM Punk's showing up later. So that would be not a wise move.
I would think if she showed up that CM Punk would guarantee not to be there. And I think that if CM Punk is ever going to be there, starting it off with AJ Lee is a pretty good way to go.
Well, mind you, if that did happen, people will be tuning in because social media would explode. Like, oh, AJ Lee's there? Punk
yeah,
might
it'll be
there,
Punk everything. Punk everything. And lastly, quickly, match of the night candidate for you. If you're going to look at the card right now, who do you think is going to steal the show?
Darby, Janela, and Havoc. I think they could put on an amazing show. The three of these guys are magic individually and magic in the ring. And I think if these guys are able to work together, I don't know, man. There's even Pac and Omega can be an amazing match. But I'm gonna go with the triple threat. I'm gonna do that.
That was my pick too. So I completely agree with you. Well, boys and girls, that wraps it up. That is your AEW All Out Predictions for Talkamania. This Saturday, tune in on YouTube. Yeah, we're going to do it on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be jumping on. I think the card probably ends somewhere around 10:30. We'll be hopping on. We'll be sauced. Follow us on Twitter, @_Talkamania. We'll be linking it out like crazy. Instagram, you know where our podcast is. It's fucking everywhere. Justin in the chat says he thinks Omega and Pac could be the sleeper for match of the night. I don't disagree. I absolutely don't disagree. If you want to be a Patreon, www.patreon.com/Talkamania. Be good. Be like Evan Gomez. Be like Smart to Death. For as little as $1 a month, $1, you can help my webcam become less fuzzy. You can you can help Dez get some light so you can see his fucking face. You can help Dez buy a Mac so that we don't have to get on half an hour before and tinker with his bullshit. But for real, guys, we're really excited about this Saturday. Check us out. On behalf of Talkamania, J-Bomb's out. Dez, say bye.
Guys, make sure to tune in this weekend. It's all out, and we're going all out, guys. So until then, Des saying, Happy Rusev Day.